Hello, welcome to this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. As always, I'm Frank Kalman here with Rick Bell. Be sure to check out the digital edition of Workforce Live. It happens June 3rd, but if you don't catch it on the live day, all our speaker videos are on demand, I think, for the next 3 months. You can check those out and should be interesting. Rick, what do we have this week?
Well, you're going to basically take the summer off from Workforce Live. I think
That's right.
that's
At least
nice.
until September 9th when we're in San Francisco. And if you're in the Bay Area, be sure to check us out.
That's right. Okay, so we have a study from Account Temps, and it's talking about, it's called Crude, Rude with Attitude, and it asks CFOs and general employees about the biggest workforce etiquette offenses committed by staff and coworkers. Now, the interesting thing is that there's differing opinions between the CFOs and the general workforce. So number one is being distracted during meetings. Now, that's CFOs. Workers weren't quite as upset with that one. But workers were more upset with gossiping about others. So it's like 28% of workers said that was their biggest pet peeve at work, whereas 18% of CFOs said that was their biggest one. Now, a couple other ones was not responding to calls or emails in a timely fashion, not crediting others when appropriate, and criticizing others publicly. So, and of course, I have no pet peeves with anybody at work.
Interesting differences of opinion there. Well, Rick, we have another interesting story this week from the Wall Street Journal. You know, you take a job, you interview for a job, you're offered the job, you get a salary offer, and it's pretty custom for that person to counter and enter into a little bit of a negotiation. Well, not so at some companies. A few companies, namely Reddit, the social news site that many people are familiar with, have basically instituted a policy that says new hires are not allowed to haggle on salary. Which is kind of interesting. Interim Chief Executive Ellen Pao, who, as you know, was kind of caught up in that lawsuit involving the venture capital firm for, I think it was not paying her properly or not allowing her to advance up the ladder at the firm. But she's basically making the argument that instituting the no-haggle salary negotiation policy promotes an environment of transparency and gender pay equality, since science has been showing us that women are less likely to negotiate on salary than men. Some other companies have also adopted a policy, and people are torn in the space on if this is effective. A lot of people are saying that you're going to ultimately lose out on talent in a tight labor market if you're not allowing salary negotiation. And others aren't quite buying the gender equality argument either. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it either. I think there needs to be wiggle room with negotiations because if you just have a set price, and I get that, it's like I like to know what I'm going to be paid, or if I'm going to even go to the grocery store, I like to know how much my salary is going to cost me, you know? Yep. But I think there's also room for negotiation, especially with the job. It's like you might have multiple offers out there, and if you like company A better than company B, but company B is allowing a little bit more negotiation in terms of salary, I think you're going to potentially lose out on good candidates.
Yeah, so will be interesting to see how that fizzles out. So what else we got? We got one more thing this week?
Well, you know, it's getting kind of warm out there, Frank.
It's hot in here.
It's always hot in here. It's always sunny in Chicago or whatever it is. Anyway, so yes, you know that a lot of parts of the country have already peaked 90 degrees plus. Here in Chicago, not quite. But it's not even the end of May yet. We're not even quite into June. So OSHA has come out once again with its annual summer safety tips for employers for your outdoor workers. So, and of course, number one, of course, is drink water every 15 minutes or so, especially if you're not, even if you're not thirsty, because A, you'll either curl up and shrivel up and blow away like dust, or you'll cramp up. Rest in the shade to cool down, of course. Wear a hat and light-colored clothing. Keep an eye on your fellow workers. Keeping an eye on you, making sure you're drinking your water. And take it easy on the first few days that you're working in heat, because you're probably not quite used to it yet. So yeah, so drink lots of water and know where your shade trees are.
Awesome. Great. Well, that's all we have for this edition of 5 Minutes of Management. Again, be sure to check out the Workforce Live Spring 2015 Digital Edition on June 3rd. And if you don't catch it on the live day, videos are on demand through September. So be sure to check it out. For Rick Bell, I'm Frank Kalman. Join us next week.
Take care.